That's why, bro. It kept connecting and disconnecting from the internet. Problem solved.
Live, right?
300 IQ Wizard. If you donate $20,000, the owner said we can do a burnout.
Even 15.
$15,000, and he said we'll do a burnout.
Okay, it's good.
Okay, perfect.
See ya.
See ya. You'll think about it. It's only $15,000. Shouldn't be should be like the hour. I did not realize I was muted. Whoopsie. This live stream is like partially for him. Nice and easy. Hey, no scrapage. All right. You guys should be able to hear now, hopefully. Oh no. Not the stall. All right. I think I'm gonna go to the typical recording spot parking lot, and then that'll give us a good drive, and then we'll do a little walk around, and then I'm gonna record a video on this car. And give me just 1 second. One second. We good. The passenger side door was a little bit cracked open. Off we go. We're gonna give it some time to warm up, obviously. I just realized I did not have to end the previous live stream, but I did because I thought it was glitched. It was just constantly connecting and disconnecting from the home Wi-Fi, and so that's my fault. And I'm still working on getting my hands on the Dodge Viper. It's just for that, the Z06 obviously has the rev match, and when you drive a rev match manual car for a while, it's like hard to remember exactly how to, you know, professionally and accurately rev match yourself. For me, it's not the upshifting that's the issue. It's the downshifting, and I feel like to get a good drive, you need to get crisp, nice downshifts in a manual, and well, that's hard to do by yourself. If you guys are like, if you daily drive a manual car, probably not, but just rev match versus no rev match are two very different things, obviously. Let's open up the exhaust valves. Actually, I think they were already open. Will, how we doing, man? I just saw your Instagram post. You are cuffed up. Congratulations. It looked like you like proposed to her in one of the pictures. Is it easy to drive a manual? Yes, I learned, and well, it took me like 3 or 4 days to get it out on the road and be comfortable. Like now, if I get caught in traffic, dude, there's a lot of nice cars out today. If I get caught in traffic on an uphill, like that was my biggest fear at the start, was rolling back, but now that's not a concern. So I'd say if you drive a manual for 2 hours a day for 3 or 4 days straight, then you're going to be very confident in driving a manual car. It's all about just getting like the repetitions in. Dude, we've seen a Camaro, a Mustang, a Challenger, and a WRX all in like 10 seconds. That subtle supercharger whine, man. You gotta love it. I mean, realistically, the hardest part about driving a manual is the rev match downshifting, or even when you upshift and understanding like when to let off the clutch at the bite point so that the RPMs like very smoothly transition. That's why if you can get a car that has auto rev matching, that is the easiest and the best way to start off learning manual. I started off on a 2015 Mustang GT, which didn't have rev matching or anything. So I had my brother, though, who's the owner of this car, and he obviously has been driving a manual because this Z06 is a manual for quite some time. So I got good tips and picked it up fairly easily. It's just still, to this day, with rev matching, it's I have to warm up to it. But when I hop in this, I don't, because it's auto. Only reason you're asking is because when you grew up, you want a GT, or sorry, I thought you said a GT350, 350Z manual. Get it, dude. It makes driving so much more like engaging. You don't even need a super fast car to like enjoy a drive if it's a manual. I don't know. It's like you are the car. You're doing the shifting, you're doing the driving, you're doing the steering. Anything in a manual really enhances the driving experience. Let's do just a light pull here. The video I'm gonna make with this car is gonna be either 3 things I hate about it, or it's gonna be like living with a C7 Z06. And it's impossible to hate this car. The only complaint, which is more like honestly the most honorable complaint a car can receive, is that it is too fast. It is too fast. I mean, imagine owning a car where the one issue with it is that it's too fast. That's the C7 Z06. It'd be cool to see you review a newer Camaro SS. Yeah, I did the 2017. That had the 8-speed. And dude, the clap that that Camaro SS makes when you upshift at redline was a great introduction to the Camaros. I know the 10-speed is going to be faster, but from what I've heard, I don't think the 10-speed has as much of a. There's an LC 500 right there. It was the red one. I don't think the 10-speed has as much of like drama when it shifts. I'd still do it though. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely love to test out a 10-speed Camaro SS. My brother, before this car, owned a Camaro SS. Bo, I think he's watching the live stream, so he saw your thank you. The great thing is, in a manual car, it's always the right gear. It's always in the right gear. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. It's always in the right gear. Could I make a vid about how to use a manual car because you're trying to learn early? We're almost at our destination here. I'll get out and give you a little like mini tutorial on driving a manual. Like, it's very straightforward and easy. It's more so about like understanding the timing. Like right now, we're letting off the clutch slowly, matching it with the RPMs, and we're smooth, we're off. And to think that that's stock. That was first gear, by the way. All right. No more speeding tickets, preferably. Yeah, we're like two or 3 minutes away. So, like, you can listen to explanations of how to drive it. I would definitely have it like ingrained in your brain, but then it's like applying what you hear to actually, you know, understanding the clutch. I mean, shifting's fairly easy. You just move the shifter in the correct direction. I mean, yeah, I'll get more in depth as soon as we park. That's literally, that's it. Once you're rolling, you can't really mess up. Right now, increase the RPMs, let off that clutch, and easy money. Oh, there's a Hellcat that just passed us. Hello. This thing would beat them. You feel like even the 2015 Camaro Z58 would be a cool car to review. It has a potent engine and is one of the... Am I reading that right? We're at a stop sign. Would be a cool car to review. It has a pretty potent engine and is one of the more rare Camaros. Really? A 2015 Z28? An auto doesn't predict the change in elevation or how long you want to use. Yeah, but I mean, isn't a manual, an automatic car in manual paddle shifting mode is, well, you're right, man. Some automatics don't have that option. Hey, I think this parking lot's completely empty. Just like last time. There's still that one Chrysler sitting there for some reason. Let's back her up a little bit. All right. Dude, I hope Social Orbit didn't miss the entire drive. We are parked in the exact same spot as the Gran Turismo last Saturday. Oh my gosh, yeah. This is a beautiful car. You still remember the one time you test drove a 2017 Z06? The car felt like a rocket taking off. You were driving with paddle shifters. I drove I have a video uploaded on my channel of a yellow automatic C7 Z06. I think that one was a 2019. But oh my gosh, yeah, that thing, manual makes it even more insane. But these cars are rockets. That's the best way to describe it. It's the only way to describe it. Oh, sorry, IF Gaming Channel. I was gonna tell you how to drive a manual. All right, let's do it, man. So me and you, all right, here we are. We're walking up to our first manual car ever. This would be a hell of a car to learn manual on, but let's pretend we are. You open the door, right? Notice the differences. You've got the clutch, and then you have that. And those are the only differences. Very easy, okay? You hop in here, all right? And before you even turn the car on, get a feel for it. So with the clutch, Every single clutch has a bite point that is typically around 60 to 70 to 80% of the way up. So you can see the full range of motion on the clutch. That's all the way down. And nothing will happen, nothing will happen, nothing will happen, nothing. Right about like here is where it'll start to engage. The car will start rolling, right? When you're at a stop, right here is where you want to start giving it just a little bit of gas. That way, as you let off the clutch and it reaches that bite point, the RPMs are going to start dropping, right? If any car goes below 500 RPMs, it stalls. So you need to give it gas so that the RPMs raise back up. And as you let off the clutch, you keep it at around, 800 RPM to about 1600 RPM. And then as soon as you do that, you'll slowly let all the way off the clutch. When your foot's off the clutch, you can actually just take your foot off, put it over here. The car will be rolling and it'll keep rolling, right? So now let's assume you're accelerating. It's time to shift gears. So you're in first, you're going, let's say like 15, 20 miles an hour, you need to shift a second. Same exact thing. Clutch all the way in, which is the only time you can move the shifter, right? So now we're going to put it into second. And then we're going to, you want to do this a little bit faster than what I'm explaining, right? So let me show you like a real version of this. So we're in first, ready? Clutch in, second, foot off. So that should happen all within like a second and a half. But to give you a slow motion version of it, let's go back to first. It would be clutch all the way in. That's when the clutch is all the way to the ground. That's when we go to second. And then now that it's in second, we would, take our foot off controllably so. And if you are in a non-rev matching car, you would apply a little bit of gas. Or I'm sorry. It depends if, so when you shift a second, the RPMs are going to drop, right? If you keep your foot on the clutch for too long, the RPMs will continue to drop. So if you don't do it fast enough, you're going to want to give it just like a little bit of gas so the RPMs catch back up to where it should be. Think about when you're in an automatic car and you're driving and the car automatically shifts from first to second for you. You'll see, depends on how fast you're going, but you'll see like a 1,500 to 2,000 RPM decrease. So if you're shifting from first to second in this car and you're at 3,000 RPM, you're probably going to want to go to like, it's going to be variable for every different car, but maybe around somewhere between like 1,800 to 2,200. And you just want to, you can see in the RPM cluster where your RPMs should be as you are disengaging the clutch. And that's it, the process, right? Then you go to third, which this was another thing that was like weird to me, is third, right? I was scared of always going into first on accident, which is actually, I've never even done that before, and that's not easy to do. If you just literally push the thing up, like you just push it up like that, it goes in the middle. And so now it's in neutral. And, well, this one is a little bit weird because it has 7 gears into reverse. But if I just go straight forward, now it's in third. So an easy way to go from second to third is to literally just push it up as if you're just pushing it back to where its standing point is, and then you push it forward. So instead of trying to like muscle it into third, it's a lot more, convenient to just push it up and then push it forward. That's a simple manual trick to go to third. Then of course there's fifth, there's sixth, and then I've never gone to seventh in this car, believe it or not. There's seventh. That is far over. You understand it? Good. Then it's important, obviously, when you're coming to a stop, you can put the clutch in, and then like, let's say you're coming to a stop at a traffic light, you're in fourth gear. Just put it in neutral, you can take your foot off the clutch, and then you can just press on the brake and come to a stop. Traffic light turns green, foot back on the clutch, put it into first gear, and then do the same thing. Slowly release the clutch, give it a tiny bit of gas to keep the RPMs at around 800 to 1,400, and then you're off. So then, again, if you understand that, great. I hope I helped you. Now it's just going to be about understanding, the feel for it, right? Like when one thing that was very tough for me was controllably, very slowly releasing the clutch. Here, you'll see my leg like uncontrollably. Watch. It jumps. It just jumps up because the pressure of the clutch changes. Boom. And it's like that would give you a rough start. So I personally like to have my heel planted into the ground so I have some sort of like stability. And now I can slowly, even there was a little bit of a jump, but like I can slowly release it controllably with my heel planted into the ground. That's much smoother, much easier versus like not having any contact with the ground and relying solely on the muscles of your leg to control the disengaging of the clutch. LY Swift. I know who you are now. I saw that's not a Civic. Civic is love. Civic is life. Yes, I could probably upload an official video on this. And I'm assuming LY stands for love you. Love you, Swift. What happens when you let the clutch go too fast? So if you're at a stop, like right now, pretend we're at a red light, right? And you go, your foot's all the way down, and you go like this. The car will jerk forward. You'll move forward. You'll probably go like this. It'll be like foot comes off the clutch, boom, and then you'll hear it. You know, it won't be good. And the car will stall. It'll turn off. So you're gonna need to put your foot back on the clutch because you cannot start the car. Yeah, you can't start the car unless your foot's all the way down. And you're gonna, I would be in first gear. Up to you. You can start it in neutral too. But then, yeah, you start it up and you give it another shot. And now another valid question is, what happens if you let off the clutch from a stop and don't give it any gas? Right? It depends on the car. Most cars, if you're on flat ground or you're on a decline, it'll actually start moving and it won't stall if you're slow enough with releasing off of the clutch. If you're on an incline or a hill though and you're stopped and you don't give it gas when you're letting your foot off the clutch, you're gonna stall. So on an incline, you have to give it gas. If you're on a complete straight flat ground, if you let off the clutch slowly enough, it'll engage on its own without giving it gas. And if you're on a decline, you again, it's all about just like how slowly you release the clutch, and then you'll be off and running. You're back in the Z06, took yours to CNC earlier. Don't be afraid to slip the clutch a bit up to 2,500 RPM. Can get some faster 0 to 60 that way too. If my brother is on the live stream, he will take that as advice. This is my brother's, not mine. But I think he does take very good care of this car. So I'm not going to be doing any any launches. John Barber, am I being serious with all this? What do you mean? Yeah, that's actually how you drive a manual. How do I qualso brake? Oh, also. How do you also brake? What do you mean? The brake pedal? But like if you're going off of an interstate and you're in, let's say we're rolling at 70 miles an hour and we're in 6th gear. I think that was 4th. We're in 6th gear and we're going off of the interstate, right? You can't be at 20 miles an hour in 6th gear. So at that point, you would obviously press the brake pedal to slow down, but you need to go in a lower gear. So then you would go over to, let's say, if you're at 20 miles an hour, probably 3rd or 2nd. We'll just go to 2nd. But again, before you let off the clutch, try to just get an idea for what the RPMs should be at. That way it's not, really rough when you let off the clutch. And that is how you drive a manual. We need to look at this thing again. You heard you have to do it in a certain way. Can you elaborate? Dude, Social Orbit better pull up, man. I had to stop the last live stream because I was experiencing some technical difficulties. Hey, Celeb, how we doing? I remember you. You hit brake clutch? If you're coming to a complete stop, yes. Love the color on the Z. That was the color you had on your 15 Stingray and loved it. Well, hopefully my brother's watching the live stream because he's gonna like the compliments. My 3 favorite are this, the white with the black accents, and then the red with the black accents. I think those are the 3 best Corvette colors you can get. No braking when shifting unless in race application. Otherwise, you clutch in and put it in neutral, then brake for general. Yeah. Like if you're coming to a complete stop, that's the correct way to go about it. And I was gonna say, I don't want to like you could put it in first and then keep your clutch pushed all the way in and brake. But for beginner purposes, yes, I'd just go to neutral and don't overcomplicate it. Hit the brake, then hit the clutch, then downshift. Yeah, yep, exactly. Brake, clutch, downshift, and then as you let off the clutch, again, assuming you're not coming to a complete stop, right? If you're going from like 70 to 0, like you're going 70 miles an hour and you're approaching a red light, then you could just put it in neutral. You don't have to downshift. You can just put it in neutral. Got a red on red manual 2018. It's your dream vet. Absolutely love it. Great car to put around in. I mean, dude, no man, no woman can hate on a C7 Z06. Did you know it's a fact that this is the only car that's actually immune to hate? Can you see under the hood? 100%. Look at the shine on this, bro. Look at that. I don't think the camera definitely does not do it justice. Oh, fucking, yep, here it is. There we go. So light, dude. You barely even have to, like, try. Did you guys know that? Corvette logo and Z06 logo on the hood, under the hood. That is too cool. And here she is. 6.2 LT4 supercharged V8 with the 650 horses, the 650 pound-feet of torque, equipped to a 3,500 pound car. That's the equivalent of my Mustang EcoBoost with 650 horsepower. How is that even, like, how does that exist? John, no, you can't. You can only put it in first in a certain speed. It's a lockout precaution. Maybe your manual, but out of all the manuals I've driven, I was able to put it in first at super high speeds. And just, I never tried to take my foot off the clutch, obviously, but that makes sense. That should be the case with all manual cars, is you can't put it in first at high speeds. That makes sense. Nicholas, we just went for a drive. We could do one more. Any mods done to it? No. And I don't think he ever will. I've said it myself too. If you mod a C7 Z06, you have mental problems. Like you either want to die or something's up. Because this thing in stock form is ridiculous. Them rims. What, guys, rate these wheels on a scale of 1 to 10. The design of these wheels, rate them in the chat. 1 to 10. How do you like them? These are aftermarket. And I just kind of noticed this, but the angle that the spokes on the wheels take match the pattern in the rotors. We got a 10, we got an 8. Yeah, I never actually got to pick up the wheels when they arrived, but they probably are super light. These are some high quality, expensive wheels. You got mental problems, headers, intake, ported TB, flex fuel, tune, and wheels and tires. I do have recommendations to good therapists for you. I will, I'll definitely send them over. Do you know how much power yours makes? You are 10. You saw this live to ask how to drive a manual, but you're subbed. Thank you. Forged, unlike the OEM wheel. Oh, yeah, OEM rims. For some reason, he doesn't want his wheels to crack. I'm not sure why you would want wheels that don't crack, but I figured it makes life a lot more exciting when you're going 140 miles an hour and then your wheel cracks and your tire pops. You know, that's I would have kept it with the OEM wheels so that, you know, you just live life on the edge. It's only like $4,000 each time it cracks. Not too bad. Mad Pulls, you know the deal. You had to replace the stock wheels since they're cracky, dude. I made a video on this car, a long form video where I was talking about the issues, and people in the comments were like, "No, they don't. You don't know anything about Corvettes." Like, bro, the amount of people that talk about cars they don't own and think they know everything about the car they ruin the car community. So I'm glad, Mad Pulls, I'm not glad you had the same issue, but I'm glad you reinforced the idea that that is true. Because it seems like every genuine person who does own this car says that about this car. You grabbed Forged Star D5 to replace the OEM wheels, the same on the GS and the Z06. Like the cracked wheels are the same on the GS and the Z06. That's what my brother said too. How stupid is that, dude? Like, let's create a car and put wheels on it that crack. Like, bro, it's not like your life relies on the reliability of tires and wheels or anything, but, you know, at least it wasn't the brakes. I guess why is there a B on me? How do I like the suspension on these for daily driving? I've had nothing newer than early 2000s and ready for a change. Yeah, so Vetesis is the owner of this car, by the way, so take his word more than you're taking mine, as well as Mad Pulls. But my opinion on the ride quality of this is it is very dailyable if you have roads that are somewhat like this quality. Like if you're driving on like Michigan roads, for example, I would never ever want to own a C7 Z06 and be forced to drive it on like Michigan roads. But if generally the roads you drive on don't have a ton of potholes or bumps or, you know, all that, this is going to be easily dailyable. You feel it though. You feel the bumps. Trust me, you do. This is not like a Mercedes, obviously, but it is very tolerable. Very tolerable. This is the same C7 that I live streamed a while ago. Yes, I think yeah, we live streamed this like a month and a week ago, roughly. Abdus, yes, here we are. We are actually with the C7 Z06. Most people better check their underwear after driving the car. This is no joke. Yeah, you are not wrong. And the same goes for passengers that ride in this thing. I mean, the only other car that is even comparable to this, like insanity-wise, was the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. And even then, there is something about the C7 Z06 that makes it feel... it's different from the Huracan but like in a good way. Like it's like you feel under control, but you're scared, which is very cool. Because you don't want to have a car that's out of control where you feel like you're gonna crash, right? That's not a good time. But you want something that scares you, and if it's just pure smooth, then it's not gonna scare you. This one is the perfect medium of both of those things. Oh, Croso, for real? Well, this is like a reunion right here. We're back with the car where you found the channel. That's awesome. Andre, Vetesis is gonna have to answer that question. But I am very, very familiar with the market of C7 Z06s. The used market, well, actually, yeah, that's a question you probably are going to want to answer. Are you getting it new, or you can't get it. I don't think are there even any C7 Z06s that are new anymore? I doubt it. Used, they're going to start at around 65, 70. But if you want a good quality one, with a strong service history, a low amount of owners, you're probably looking at 75? 75 would be a reliable example, used C7 Z06, without a doubt. Of course, the dealer tacked on 7 grand. They tried to tack on like 4 grand to the Maserati Gran Turismo, and I was like, nah. Haven't seen a new one, used one, seen it around 67,000, 5K miles, one owner. Are you serious? Nah. 67,000, 5,000 miles, one owner? That seems a little bit too good to be true. If it's 0 accidents as well, then I would buy it. I would buy it. Crosos, so me and Vetesis, we agreed. We will do a burnout in the C7 Z06 if somebody does a $15,000 donation. And then I'm going to give him $7,500, and I'll keep $7,500. So 15K donation equals burnout. You stole yours? Oh, not literally. You mean financially stole yours. 57K 2018 comp seats, manual, 46K miles. That's insane. 57 grand. Yeah, this has the this has got the competition seats as well. This has got the manual. Believe those are the only options on this car. I'm not like super familiar with the available options. Do believe the spoilers come standard on Z06s. And yeah, the manual definitely makes it more expensive. It has to, especially with the manual market becoming more and more rare. Starting to gather up the money right now. 15K donation incoming. We will literally do a rolling burnout from here to down there for $15,000. As soon as you got the car, you put 8,000 into it between bolt-ons and wheels and tires. Dude, I could not imagine. Does your car even grip a bolt-on C7 Z06, bro? Oh, and do you know what your tire width is? Because these are obviously the factory tires, and I always show it because most people can't believe it, but 335 factory tires. It might be like really hard to actually comprehend how wide that is. That would run over my hand and still have like 50 millimeters of width remaining. Which is, that one thing explains why this car can put 650 horses to the ground. 400 each for rear tires, so traction beats burnout. 335 Toyos and nothing less. The yellow C7 Z06 I drove had 315s in the rear. And these are Michelin's, just by the way. But the 315 versus 335s actually make a noticeable difference. Like, this thing needs 335s. Thank gosh the sun's behind the cloud for a second, dude. It's like 10 million degrees. We need to take another look at this thing in rocket mode. Rocket mode is the hood closed. Also, they contribute to the wheels that crack due to their sidewall stiffness. I did not know that. I do not live in Florida. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think we're going to be going to Micro Center in an hour or two. If you know where Micro Center, well, I doubt you know where Micro Center. Are those roosters crowing? I was gonna say something about that, but I wasn't sure if you guys could hear that. Yes, that is something like that. I don't know what is going on over there, but they're like having a war. Absolute weapon of a car. And Social Orbit, I've been waiting for you, bro. I've been waiting. If you have any questions about the C7Z06, by the way, the owner of this car is in the chat. So if you have any like reliability questions, yeah, now's the time to ask. Thought it was Cambodia with all the roosters crowing. I've never heard that, dude. I haven't heard roosters crowing in like ages. Somebody must own like a mini farm or something. Something's going on over there. About to hop off, but fun talking about the car. Love Vets overall, owned 3 so far and settled on keeping the C7Z. And so did the owner of this one, man. I mean, what do you even upgrade to, bro? Like, I guess the C7ZR1, but then like, that's, you know, $60,000 more expensive. The 0 to 60 on this is like 3.2. This one's a manual, but the automatic version for sure. Yes, Social Orbit. This is about to be in your driveway. This is about to be the car you take to go pick up groceries. This is the car that you take to go to your frickin' class. Unless you're like walking distance away. Could you imagine a college student owning a C6Z06? I knew somebody at my college who owned a C7Z06. I knew someone who owned a C6Z06, but not a C7Z06. The Gen 10 Viper is the only car you'd sell it for. Respectable. That's totally understandable. This car, hands down, is the best car for the money, and no one is going to argue with that. Damn, this hood is so light that it actually didn't close all the way. I think you have to close it in the middle. Let me reopen it and then close it from the middle. And to give you guys an idea of how light this is, let me try picking it up with my pinky. Yes, it does have hydraulics, but still, when the hood's all the way down here, you're definitely, you're doing most of the lifting. Yeah, the hood and the roof, that would make sense. Well, isn't it? No, I don't think it's not carbon fiber, but it is some light material. I don't think it's carbon fiber. Isn't it? I forgot the name of the plastic, but isn't it some like really strong, durable plastic? Dude, like, it's like a piece of paper. You put, all right, where's the pine straw at? Fiberglass. It's fiberglass. Yes, it is fiberglass. Yes. Here, extra horsepower. That should add about 30 horsepower. All right, let's try to close this again. I'm gonna do it from the middle here. Instead of just dropping it, I'll push it down a little bit. There we go. ICH Lil Mido fan, what's up? How we doing? You joined at the right time because this is a very special live stream here. I love looking at the wide body on it. That is so clean. Am I gonna take the roof off? You know, that might be the move. That might be the move. Did I bring my tripod? I did. I think we shall. And before I make the video, yeah, let's do one more cruise. And for the sound purposes, we'll do it with the roof off, but I obviously need both of my hands. Social Orbit, what's the MPG? When I turn the car on, I can actually check, but Chris, you know, Social Orbit's the guy I was telling you about, the YouTuber guy who, Social Orbit, this is the owner of this car, and I was telling him that this is your dream car. So I don't know the exact MPG off the top of my head, but I can check the screen, or Chris, if you know. Social Orbit is fully prepared to buy one of these, and he's not joking. So any tips would be useful. Can you guys see? I'm not sure if it's like a good angle. I think it's a good angle. Should be a good angle. And then if I remember, oh yeah, no, there's no button. There's like the 3 latches for the roof. 1 latch, 2 latch, and 3 latch. That is most certainly fiberglass. This is much easier with 2 people, but we can make it work. All right, now, I believe it goes in this way here. Let me put the camera over here. W Chris, clean car. Oh yeah. 16 MPG, that would not surprise me. Yeah, Bo, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, for a roof, this is a big, big thing. Yeah, I definitely put this in the right way. Now it's got a, oh, there we go, that was easy. The no roof. Let me put the tripod in first. And then we will go for one more drive. This stuff is not easy to do with one hand. There we go. C7 with the new haircut. Straight out of Great Clips, bro. Make sure you tip the barber. Damn, love the car. This shit's making you want to drop 3 videos a day. I don't blame you, man. Well, let's get the full experience going. think the video I'm gonna upload on this right after the live stream is gonna be something very similar to what we're about to do. So let's basically make a live, this isn't gonna be the one I upload, but let's like make the live video. So, you just got off of work, corporate job, whatever, or maybe you're a drop shipper or a YouTuber, grab the key out of your pocket, you look up, you don't immediately hop in it, because you have to do a walk around, make sure no one hit the car with their car door when opening it, but that should never be a concern because you park far away from everybody else. And Croso with the donation, you're the absolute man. Thank you. And then if you are recording your own Z06, you hide the license plate and then you go back down. And once the walk around is complete, you step in your C7 Z06. Press the clutch in. Social, are you gonna get a manual or are you gonna get an automatic? We are in neutral. It does need an oil change in the near future. We are at 21,298 miles. And if I am aware, I should know. Oh yeah, here we go. If the stupid camera would focus, dude, it does this every single time I show an infotainment screen. 15.6 miles per gallon. And that is conservative driving, by the way. Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the majority of your driving is relatively conservative. And that accounts for all 21,200 miles as well, for a combined 15.6 miles per gallon. I've never seen a trip recording match the actual odometer. A8 for sure, live in California. It'll be a pain driving manual in city traffic. Understandable, man, understandable. And then you're gonna get the comments where, oh, no roof. And then you're gonna get the comments where it's like, you didn't get a manual. Imagine not owning a manual. What color is your C7 Z06? Just have that as you don't even have to say it, man. If I ever see somebody comment that on your videos, I will personally ask them that question for you. I appreciate it so much when people reply to dumb commenters on my behalf. It is a really, really great feeling. By the way, most people didn't know this, but I didn't know this, there's a holding spot for your key. Like where you would normally turn the ignition on the steering column, you can actually, you can put the key inside of it. Let's see here. Engine temp 185. Let's give it a light rev. It is in optimal condition here. And that's only 3,500 RPM. All right, let's do it. I'm not gonna go past the no trespassing signs. I'm just gonna do, let's start with a light acceleration up this hill. This is a pretty safe place to do a pull without breaking any rules here. Are you guys ready? I think all of my organs just left my body. That, I would prefer not to like explain what that feels like and rather just wait till you do that. That is not, you can't actually explain that. ICH, my man, enjoy your food. Thanks for stopping in here, bro. You look like you're gonna pass out when you drive this. You literally are. You are getting like 1.5 G's of acceleration. Like, it is, yeah. It is about equivalent to a roller coaster drop. It's about the same. 0 to 60 time for an automatic version of the C7 Z06, you're probably looking at around 3.3. I think that's a fair, assuming optimal tire tread. This is like my Maserati, but 85 times faster. Is it worth getting a Stingray and then upgrading down the line? Oh, when you hear that noise, just go straight for the Z06. No, seriously though, the Stingray, it is a really good car. It is. You shouldn't have anything faster for the roads than a Stingray. But then again, when you get the Stingray and you have it for like a year or two, you're going to end up wanting the C7 Z06. And so I would probably just be patient. My brother, who owns this car, did a bunch of upgrades like that, and we did a video together just talking about like how he affords it and just some of his like car buying advice. And he said his worst mistake was doing what you just asked, rather than being patient and going for straight up like the dream car. So I would take his advice on that. But some people, you know, you may just be happy with the Stingray. If you're a car person, though, that's probably not going to be the case. You're going to want the most insane version. Thinking about getting a Grand Sport in July time and upgrading to a Z06 in November, but you got to go all out. I cannot agree. I cannot agree more with that. Especially because I've driven a few Stingrays now. This is the one to get. Literally 40 miles an hour in first gear, and we're not even halfway through the RPM band. That doesn't make any sense. Do you guys hear those downshifts? Ready? Incoming downshift in a second. Don't get the Stingray. Don't get the Stingray. Don't get the Stingray. Don't even get the C8 Stingray. I made a video about comparing the C7 Z06 to the C8 Stingray. This is the one. Now the E-Ray, I'd be interested to know what that's like, but the sound of this car, oh, there's a C7. He's gonna pass us in a second. And he waved. Bo, you got to get to work. As always, man, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you, of course. And whatever work you got to get to, hope it goes well for you. I think there's an Audi RS5 behind us. It's white. Downshift made your pants wet, not gonna lie. Dude, we'll do a couple more downshifts. It is, that is probably half the reason you buy this car. Like, other than the speed, it's those absolutely nasty downshifts. We're going for NG. What is NG? Samuel, yeah, in New York, there would be no point to buy a, that's also true. Asking whether to get a Stingray or a Z06, that really, really depends on where you live. That's a very, very valid point. The Stingray LT1 is a slug when stock, but dude, there's another Hellcat, dude. We are seeing some insane cars today. This thing is not real. It's all an illusion. The E-Ray is a hybrid sports car. I'm aware of that. It makes, is it 670 horsepower? It's just, the issue is the hybrid part of it. It's like, nothing beats a V8. Nothing beats a V8. And then when you put a supercharger on it on top of that, you're just in a new realm. Well, a V12 beats a V8, but you know what I mean. Well, yeah, the E-Ray still has a V8. It just loses the supercharger in exchange for a battery. When you put it that way, I don't know. The C8's a beautiful car though. I think it is more beautiful and catches more eyes than the C7, but the C7 is more of a Corvette than the C8. So if you're about the Corvette heritage, then the C7 makes a lot more sense to get. Do you guys hear that crispiness? .498 horsepower, that's still more than enough, man. I don't know why I thought 670. I must be thinking of the C8 Z06. Isn't that kind of lame, though? With the C8 Corvette, wait a second. The C8 Stingray makes 490. Why would the E-Ray only get 8 more horsepower? That's, like, horrible. A battery adding 8 horsepower? That can't be right. The C7 is the peak of great Corvettes. That's what most Corvette people will tell you, and I can surely agree with that. E-Ray having all-wheel drive and a mid-engine V8 makes it moist. That is one way to describe a car. What color? It is not my Corvette. It is Vetesis, and it's gray. Gray with black accents. E-Ray is 660. That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought. We got sidewalls. Get ready for this downshift. Ready? Oh, that wasn't as good as I thought it would be. That was as good as I thought it would be, though. Dude, the Audi wants to play. I ain't playing with side roads around me, though. I don't know what's lurking around there. What videos do I have in mind? For this car, I'm probably gonna do a. I'm still kind of deciding. It's either gonna be what I hate about the car, because that's gonna be a very difficult, like challenging video to make. Because like, what can you hate about the C7 Z06? But no car is perfect. So I'm thinking a car that will. And I know almost all of the negatives about this car, so I'm thinking probably what I dislike about it. We'll see. I think I'm gonna do a POV drive, and then a what I dislike about it, and then that's gonna be a wrap. The only thing you hate is it's not in your garage. I love it. Me too. I think we've got enough space ahead of us to do another poll. I am risking my freaking license every time I do this. It's not looking safe right now. That's a red light anyway. Everything about it is adrenaline-fueled ecstasy. You guys are coming up with like great ways to describe driving this car. Here, I'll go off on this side road here to do one. I mean, I hope you guys can hear that as good as I can, because that is, oh my gosh. Fuel economy is like 15.6. Chris, are you still here? Does this thing take 93? Because I'll fill it up. 93 octane fuel. Okay. CTSV equivalent. Any Dodge, Ram, whatever, no Hellcat engine is going to come close to this car. The C7 Z06 is elevated above any Hellcat engine car. I drove the Trackhawk and the Challenger Hellcat jailbreak. Trackhawk obviously puts the power down. It's all-wheel drive, but then it's like it's super heavy. So you know, it's, I don't want to use the word slow, but when you have a 4,800 pound SUV, 700 horsepower is not as much as it may sound like it really is. And then the Challenger just couldn't put the power down. I think the fuel cap is on the left-hand side. I hope so. Yes, it is. Sorry, I gotta hide my credit card here, if you guys don't mind. I think I showed my credit card in the last live stream. All right. And I believe, oh, no, you don't need to press a button. So it's at half a tank right now. We'll see. Well, whatever it takes to fill up, just multiply that by 2. Why did it just stop? Multiply it by 2, and then that's how much it costs to fill up the Z06. Chris, does it normally do that? Is it like sensing something? Unless this gap thing is like, this gas thing is like, oh, okay, that makes sense. $4.93 for 93. Yeah. You pay $5.50 for 91, dude. That is, did you say you're in California? I forgot. While it's filling up, let's scope the clearance here. Croso, you are the absolute best, man. You can see where the driveway scrapage has occurred. You got about a hand of clearance, like with my thing on the ground, fingers, so it's got like that much clearance. So it's gonna be about $80. $80 to fill up the C7 Z06. That's a lot. Croso, you have contributed to the gas. Thank you so much, man. Both Chris and I appreciate that. Oh yeah, that needle is past the one. Like, you know when it's like full? She's full. Is the AC on? It is. Every time I hear AC with like with windows down or in a convertible, I think of the guy who like roasted you or was like complaining that you had AC on when you first bought one of your cars when the windows were open or something. Have I driven a GT350? Yes. First, before I answer that, Croso, did you answer that, Chris? Croso, this car is, he works from home, so it is not like dailied per se. But you could daily it. If you have like relatively smooth roads around you, you could definitely daily this. But to compare this to the GT350, this is 10 times better. 10 times better. The GT350 sounds, I don't want to say just as good, a little bit less good. A little bit less good than the Z06. The Z06 is noticeably way faster than the GT350. So yeah, but the GT350 is also like 20 grand cheaper than the Z06, so that makes sense. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. Guys, where me and Chris, who's the owner of this car, Vetesis, we work at the same spot, and we are gonna be the only people in absolutely insane cars. Like, I cannot imagine what it's gonna sound like in the parking garage. Because I always daily and bring in the Maserati to work, and then he's gonna have the Z06. There's a guy with a BMW M440i, and then there's a guy with a GT350. But other than that, there are no other like really. There is a guy with the Audi TT RS. But that's really about it. There's not a whole bunch of like super sick nice cars. 1K miles a month on your 18 Z06 so far. That's insane. That goes to show like how much you love driving the thing, given the fact that you work from home. I don't blame you. Same thing with the Maserati. I work from home between 2 to 3 days out of the week. And I'm putting about 1,000 miles a month on the Maserati. I've driven the GT500, the 2021 GT500, and that is a car, if I had 80 grand, that I would purchase. Every time I drive this thing, I'm geared more towards this car. I keep saying I would pick the brand new GT500 over this car, but when I do those polls and listen to those downshifts, it's tough, man. It'd be one of the hardest decisions of my life. But for 80 grand, it's either this, a C6 ZR1, or a GT500. Your friend just bought a G87 M2 and put 2,500 miles on it in 3 weeks. Oh my. Oh my, dude. Did he? That's like that is literally. Is that not like? Nah. That's not cross country. How many miles is it from North Carolina to California? 2,500. That sounds like it'd be close. Love seeing folks put miles on performance cars. I'm with you, man. I kept reading on Maserati forums about how it's all like it's a car you should only weekend drive. I'm like, no. I'm dailying the Maserati. And yeah, it's like, why else would you buy something if you're not going to use it? It's nice to keep miles low, but like, you know, yeah, I go like because I have the Mustang EcoBoost as a daily. I'm usually torn to just go straight for the Gran Turismo and not like be concerned about driving it when I have the option to drive it. What handles better, the GT500 or C7 Z06? I'm working on getting another GT500, a white one that I can really push. Because the one I got, it was, this guy was so like sweet and kind, and it wasn't even, it was a dealership car, so I didn't want to, he wanted me to put like max like 6 miles on the car. So I did what I could with the distance that we got, the roads we could drive on. I didn't really get the opportunity to, and that was plus the highest horsepower car I've driven in my life. So I didn't get to do the full experience. I floored it, but I never like really tested the handling capability. So I can't answer for sure. Am I gonna be driving this car? Dude, we just drove, I think, for like 45 minutes in total so far. Buy a Lambo? Why buy a Lambo when for a third of the price you can get a manual equivalent and then not have to even spend half the amount of money in maintenance costs? That's the true question. Guys, I need to record this video, so I think I'm gonna cut it there. But you're kidding? Okay, I figured. If I had infinite money, I probably would get a Lambo over this, but infinite money is not ever gonna happen. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm very happy we could all enjoy this session together. Everyone say thank you, Vetasys, because this is his car, and I feel like that was a lit live stream. Live streams always pop off with the Z06 and the Gran Turismo as well. But if you appreciate this, say thank you, Vetasys, in the chat. If you don't say thank you, Vetasys, then you're banned. You're permanently banned. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on, I think I'm gonna do a POV drive, and then I'm gonna do one about things I hate about the car. So yeah, as always, thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for the 14 likes in the live stream. Thank you to Vetasys. Thank you for Croso and 300 IQ Wizard. MJT. May do a live stream tomorrow. I'm waiting on getting brake pads to replace the brake pads on the Gran Turismo. What does this hate about the car? To spoil it, I think I'm gonna cover, actually no, I'm not gonna spoil it. You have to watch the video to find out. All right, guys, I may see you tomorrow for an additional live stream. May pop back in later today, not sure, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what's up, but look forward to the videos coming on this car, sponsored by Vetasys, of course, and I'll see you all shortly. Peace out, guys.